What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So as you can see, I am high up on this rocky escarpment here at the moment. I came out here this morning and pretty much the plan for today is I'm going to be looking for some reptiles. Now, here in Australia, we have 869 species of reptiles that call this place home. 93% of them being unique to this continent. They're found nowhere else in the world, which is really cool. Now, the reason why I've picked this cliff to look on in particular is because all reptiles are cold-blooded, which means when that sun comes up in the morning, they're gonna be coming out to warm up for the day. So I'm gonna be searching this 50 meters of cliff right here, back to front, to try and find some deadly animals. I know that there's death adders out here. That is one species that I've always wanted to come in contact with. And after this, I've got a really cool adventure planned for the rest of the day as well. So let's start walking around, searching this cliff, and hopefully we can find some cold-blooded cousins.
True.
All right, and would you take a look at this right here? This is a good sign. This is not goanna skin. I'm pretty sure that's from a python. Look, more of it right down here. Definitely from a big python that has been sitting up on this rocky escarpment right here. Look, there's more of it down there. You can tell it's a python by the belly scales. Pythons have 3 very distinct belly scales. All other species of snakes like tree snakes, browns, taipans have one strip across like that. So we know he's around here somewhere. That's a good start. We know we're looking in the right place. Hopefully we can try find him. So I was just walking out here through the bush, and would you take a look at what I spotted right here? That is a massive coastal carpet python sitting right down there. Oh, he just bit me on the foot. Doesn't want anything to do with me though. But we're just gonna let him crawl between my legs like that. And I think he's gonna go down that bank right there. We could maybe even follow him down the escarpment and see where he goes. Just perched right up on this cliff right here, overlooking this creek system. And would you take a look at all of this skin that's coming off of him at the moment. So I'll help him out. It is so hot out here at the moment, but I say we keep pushing on, we go a bit further and see if we can find any other animals. That was so cool. So one of the most important things that I have learned about looking for snakes and reptiles over the years is you've got to drop into that animal. You've got to pretend you are that species. What do you need? You need food, water, shelter, sun. So coming to a place like this, it ticks all of those boxes for those species. And I just got to put in the time and hopefully come across a couple. So we've just walked a bit further down this cliff and we have found another reptile over behind us right here. Would you take a look at that big fella sitting down there? Now that is the goanna, also known as the Australian lace monitor. I'm just gonna see how close I can get to her at the moment. Now I'm definitely in biting range for this goanna right now, and trust me, I would not want to take a bite from one this size. Pretty sure it's a big female, she might even be pregnant, so we're just gonna leave her alone. But these goannas not only have extremely razor sharp teeth, facing backwards so that when they grab their prey, they can't get out. Brian Fry from the University of Melbourne actually studied these animals here, and what he realized was not only was the bacteria in their mouth so bad, it's actually considered a mild venom. It's not too effective on humans or anything, but it would definitely help to bring down small prey, which is so cool. They're like the exact same as the Komodo dragons over in Indonesia, and one of my favorite species to come across. They're a very common species. They're not endangered, but they're still protected, so I couldn't go picking up this one or anything as much as I would like to. Look at the shape of their body, perfectly built for areas like this. Those massive claws will help them scale trees if they need to get away from predators. These type of reptiles and crocodiles are basically the closest thing we have to dinosaurs these days. But just imagine 30,000 years ago, this guy being the size of a crocodile and running around on the land, causing havoc, running down big game animals and everything. It would have been crazy to see, and that is something that actually happened. These guys used to be absolutely massive. It's still so cool to see one like this. Oh, there she goes. Making a run for it. Up here. Where are you going? Going for a climb, are ya? I remember coming out to this place when I was a lot younger and filming a heap of different goanna videos out here. So it's cool to get back out here and do it again. Doing all the same sort of stuff, but I reckon we keep going and see what else we can catch. That is awesome. So I've been walking around this cliff for about an hour now, and here is another snake that we found sitting up on the side of this cliff right here. So this behind me right here is known as the freshwater snake, also known as the keelback. Now this is a non-venomous species of snake, but they look incredibly similar to a species of snake we have here called the rough scale. You have to really know what you're looking for. Here's photos of both the snakes up on the screen right now. Now I have been wanting to run into this snake for so long because the amazing thing about them is they are the only species of snake here in Australia that can successfully eat and digest cane toads. There's only 2 species in Australia that can actually do this, and that's the keelback, this guy over my shoulder right here, and the sawshell turtle. And I'm thinking I might as well go and try find a sawshell turtle after this to show you the 2 toad killers that we have here in Australia. Oh, there he goes. And off he goes. It was bound to happen when I got a bit too close, but he's down that cliff right now. I've found another one. That is crazy, 2 in 1 week. Take a look at this down here. Now I knew this video was meant to be all about reptiles, and it is, but how this little fella actually relates to reptiles is the name Echidna comes from a Greek mythology creature which was supposedly half woman, half snake, called the mother of monsters. And the reason why it was named that is because when this animal was first described, it was said to have both mammalian and reptilian features. So that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna set the camera up and get down in front of this animal and see if he'll come back out. He's tucked away at the moment. So the reason why I've been seeing so many echidnas lately is because from the months June to September, what happens is both the males and females will actually emit a strong odor, which will help them find each other, and these are the months that they will breed. So after these animals find each other and actually mate, what will happen is the female will lay a small rubbery egg inside their pouch, and after it hatches, it'll hatch out a small puggle, as they're called, which will be the size of a jelly bean. And it will carry that puggle in its pouch, sometimes even burying it in a small hole covered in leaf litter, going getting food and coming back for about 3 months until it's big enough to go fend for itself. And that puggle, that baby echidna, can sometimes actually grow up to 40 years old in the wild, which is pretty cool. And he's about to go burrow under my neck right there. Oh, that is so cool. They're more commonly found at about 10 years old in the wild though. Where are you going, mate? I feel like I should just stay still now. I don't want to scare him or anything. He doesn't really seem to mind. Going out this way, mate. They are literally the coolest animal. I absolutely love these guys. And it's cool that now that it's breeding season that you'll see them out more, but that does mean that you'll have to slow down on the roads a bit because they're often found going looking for mates during this time of year. But yeah, how cool is that? The other crazy thing about this animal is, see that big nose at the front right there? These guys are specialists in digging into ant holes, termite mounds and everything. And they actually have 6-inch long sticky tongues that they'll shoot in there, come out with a tongue full of ants and keep going on their way. Absolutely loves it. Hey buddy, what are you doing, mate? Alright, so he's just crawling off into the bush at the moment. You can see him like waddling away over there. But another amazing encounter with an echidna. I'm gonna keep walking up this creek, see what other species I can find. And if I can't find anything up this creek, I'm gonna head back home and show you a venomous species of snake that actually lives in my house. I'm gonna try to get some cool footage of it. So we have a plethora of species that live not only around us, but in our backyard too. And this is Big Chungus. He's the local Yellowface whip snake that lives in a rock wall on our driveway, which just proves that here in Australia, you don't have to go far to find snakes. Now normally, I go out and eat brekkie with him while he sunbakes every morning, but this time I decided to follow him around and get some footage of him. So, Yellowface whip snakes are a venomous species of snake that primarily feed on small lizards, bird eggs, frogs, mice, and other small animals. And although not considered dangerous to humans, they're not a snake that you want to get bitten by. When bitten, it's said to be extremely painful and will cause major swelling around the bite area. They're often confused with the highly venomous eastern brown snake, which is definitely a snake that you do not want to get bitten by. So after following this little fellow around for a while, it inspired me to go find some more reptiles. So I set off up the creek, and it wasn't long until I'd found something. So this is the second keelback that we found in today's video, the second cane toad killer. Now we're out in this creek system actually looking for sawshell turtles, and we managed to come across this big fella. But take a look at that, they're so hard to distinguish from rough scale snakes. Look at it, looks exactly like it. The other name for this species is actually a freshwater snake, but look at this. Stay still, he doesn't even care. Snakes would have to be probably my favorite animals that I can actually come out here in the wild and find. All of them are so different, so unique. They have different capabilities, different venoms. Venom has always been something that's really fascinated me, so I think that's why I'm drawn to this species so much. This little guy down here, non-venomous, but still such a cool animal. And cool just to see them in their natural habitat doing their own thing. What are you doing, mate? Crawling right down past me. So this little guy is going to go back out, probably try to hunt some frogs later on. We're going to let him do that. And I think what we're going to do now is wait for it to get a bit darker, head up the creek, go for a night walk, and hopefully try to find a platypus. That's the end goal.
He's right underneath your crotch, he's in your pocket.
Oh, no way. No. What?
Snake in a pocket.
Did you film that?
Yeah.
That is, he's literally in my pocket right now. True. You can see him sitting in my pocket right there. That is actually so funny. Lucky this is a keelback and it's not a rough scale or anything. Obviously, if it was a rough scale, I wouldn't be getting this close to it. But that is so cool. Doesn't that remind you of when we were out filming and the tree snake crawled up under my shirt?
Oh, he's going in your shirt.
Is he?
Yeah, he's going in your shirt. Yep. Yep.
Oh, I feel him.
You can see him. You see him moving up? I got a perfect shot of him.
Film up to me. He is climbing up my shirt at the moment. This is him right here.
Oh, there he is.
He's just trying to get a bit of cover.
Oh yeah, that was so good. That was funny as.
Stuff like this happens to me all the time, but that is so cool. We're gonna get this little fella out of my pocket now. Right, and there we go. All right, I'll just drop you down like that, mate, and you can go about doing your own thing. I hope you catch a couple frogs tonight, or put a dent in the cane toad population, hopefully, but we're gonna let you be. See you, mate, you're an absolute legend. That is so cool. So after finding all of those animals throughout the day, I decided to go on another night walk later that night up the creek to try and find some more venomous animals. And it wasn't long until I found the first animal of the night. Alright, so I'm being very quiet. I'm just sneaking up on it now, but would you take a look at what we got right in front of us right here? So we just started this adventure up the creek tonight looking for platypus, and we have spotted an Azure Kingfisher. This is my favorite species of bird by far. Take a look at them. Those colors on their body is just absolutely crazy. It's so cool to see them, especially perched up in a tree like this. We're gonna try not wake her or anything. So wherever there's water, you will find these Azure Kingfishers all across the east coast of Australia, up north Queensland, and even into Papua New Guinea and some parts of Indonesia. They're such a beautiful little species of bird that primarily feed on crustaceans, small fish. They'll wait up in trees, wait till they see a fish, swoop down in the water, fully submerge themselves under the water and grab it. They're even known to follow around platypus and watch what the platypus stir up, then going down and picking up the scraps that the platypus might have missed. So we're on the right track if we want to find a platypus tonight. It would be so cool to find one. I'm gonna let this little fella be. He's just woken up, so I say we keep walking up the creek and see what else we can find. That is so cool. All right, so it's about midnight at the moment. I've been walking up these creek systems and everything all day, and what an adventure it's been so far. We've found so many cool animals, all those reptiles at the start of the day, that yellowface whip snake, the echidna, that kingfisher at night. We didn't end up getting a platypus this time, but that's all right. That'll just be for another adventure. And if you want to see some stuff like that, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video. It all really helps me. But thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again next Saturday in the next adventure.